What if I told you there was a secret history of UFOs right here in America? Well, there is, and it all started back in 1896. From November that year, people all over the country began to report seeing strange airships floating through the skies. Hundreds of people witnessed these bizarre cigar-shaped crafts with bright lights moving silently overhead. Some even reported hearing human-like voices and commands such as "throw her up higher," "she hit the steeple." Yeah, it sounds crazy, but I'm just getting started. It turns out that a San Francisco attorney by the name of George Collins claimed to represent the inventor of one of these machines. He said his client was a reclusive millionaire from Maine who built a 150-foot aluminum airship that could carry 15 passengers. According to Collins, the craft had wings and a bird-like rudder. But despite the publicity, he never produced the inventor, and many doubted his story. Still, sightings continued. They moved eastward across the country through Nebraska, Kansas, Iowa, and Texas. By April 1897, the phenomenon reached as far south as Arkansas, Tennessee, and Kentucky. In fact, on April 1st, lawmen John Sumter and John McLemore encountered a crew of airship passengers who had landed to fill a water sack. The pilots invited them aboard, and the men reported that they were headed to Nashville. But just 2 days later, on April 1897, a fiery crash in Aurora, Texas killed a pilot and ended the wave of sightings. Reports ceased abruptly, and no one has ever come up with a good explanation. So what exactly were these airships? Well, they were described as being between 100 and 200 feet long, metallic, often aluminum or silver in color, and shaped like cigars. Some witnesses reported seeing wings, propellers, and bright searchlights, while others claimed the airships moved with incredible speed, estimated at between 135 and 150 miles per hour, which was far faster than any airships of the time, which only moved at 5 or 7 miles per hour. And get this, some accounts claimed that these airships could hover, ascend straight up and down, and withstand wind and storms. Not exactly like anything we've seen before. And if that wasn't weird enough, the occupants were described as either normal humans wearing aviator gear, or in rarer accounts, slender beings making strange warbling noises. So what was going on here? Well, there are lots of theories. Some believe that these sightings were the result of an actual inventor whose craft was far ahead of its time. However, that theory is somewhat shaky since French airship experiments, for example, the 1884 battery-powered La France, were known to be limited, and any breakthroughs would have been impossible to keep secret. Others argue that these sightings were a hoax perpetrated by newspapers looking to capitalize on the public's fascination with airships and new technology. And there were plenty of hoaxes during this time. For example, the San Francisco Call published a sensationalized account of a local airship inventor named Thaddeus Lowe, while the Dallas Morning News claimed that an airship had been seen over Texas. The paper even offered a reward for information leading to the capture of the airship, which turned out to be a balloon with a lantern tied to it. Other pranks involved tying lanterns to balloons or kites, and some opportunists like a Dr. E.H. Benjamin gave fabricated interviews to newspapers. Of course, not everyone was fooled. The Oregonian newspaper mocked Californians for gaping up into the empty night, and attributed the sightings to barbaric credulity. In reality, the truth probably lies somewhere in between. There were likely a combination of factors at play, including misidentification of celestial bodies like Venus, meteors, or experimental balloons. Additionally, mass hysteria likely played a role, fueled by frontier folklore and anxiety about rapid technological change. Some historians also speculate that these sightings reflected the Gilded Age tensions between the rural and urban populations, with Midwestern farmers interpreting the airships as tools of industrial espionage. Still, by April 1897, legal reactions began to emerge. For example, the Arkansas Senate passed a resolution to tax airship freight. In the end, whatever these mysterious airships were, they became a part of American law, establishing many of the UFO tropes we know today, like silent crafts, descending beams of light, humanoid abductors, and government secrecy. And that brings us to the modern day, because it turns out that this isn't the only time such a flap of sightings appeared only to vanish into thin air. In 1965, hundreds of people in Arkansas reported seeing strange objects falling from the sky, just like in 1897. And it's happening again today, with UAP reports following a similar pattern of intense sightings, followed by frustrating silence. As historian David J. Weber has noted, each of these moments reflects a recurring theme throughout history, a blend of technological anxiety, media manipulation, and the human desire to believe in the impossible. and that's why the mystery of the airships endures. For some, they are proof of a lost inventor or early extraterrestrial contact. For others, a cautionary tale of media-driven delirium. Ultimately, the truth may lie somewhere in between, in a realm where myth and machine collide. Thanks for watching.